Hi, this is Danielle, and I'm going to go over some common issues and how I would troubleshoot them in a Mac. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to go over is the hardware side of Mac, and that's something that you're not likely to really deal with too much as pulling apart a Mac. It's been a number of years since I've opened up a Mac. I just want to show you. So the newer Macs are actually soldered together to where it's really difficult to pull them apart and do like memory upgrades. With the older Macs, this is a older MacBook Air that I have. You can see that you would just unscrew these little screws along the edges, and then that's how you would upgrade, like install RAM, um, things like that. So there is one hardware issue in particular that I do want to make all my users aware of, and that is a swollen internal battery. So the way, an indication of that is, let me just lower this. So as you can see, normally if I want to open an application like PowerPoint, I would click and it opens. If I had a swollen internal battery, I would be able to tap tap and it would open. It would act as if it were a click. So if you can tap tap instead of click, then that is an indication of a swollen internal battery, and you definitely want to get that checked out. So moving along, I'd like to go over ways to identify, well, like if a user comes up to you and says, hey, my Mac's slow, my Mac's slow. The first thing I'd want to identify is it, I'd want to make the distinction to whether it's the browser that's slow or the actual operating system. And if it is the latter, then one diagnostic tool that I love to use is echoing Y. So I'm going to open up Terminal, and I really like working in Terminal on the Mac. So to do that, you're going to do the yes command. And that's going to give me a whole bunch of Y's, Y. And so what this does is it runs the CPU at 100% capacity. So it's great if you have a Mac that just keeps crashing upon load. It's a great way to diagnose that. So I'm going to control and stop that, Control C. Another thing that I want to go over is how to check the file system. So we're going to use sudo. Sudo is a very powerful command, so powerful that I'm going to have to put in my password in order to use it, an admin password, because if you use sudo incorrectly, there's a number of commands associated with sudo. If used incorrectly, you can cause a lot of problems, irreversible problems. So we're going to do usage, and there's asking me for my password. So as you can see, it gives me a whole stream of processes, and these are processes that are running in the background. And this tool is great if you have like a drive that won't eject. Like for example, this one, this guy over here didn't want to eject properly. You could figure out why using this command. So let's go ahead and stop that. And let's go over our next one. So you can check for available updates. One way is to check here and go to the App Store, or you can actually check in the terminal. So you can do again sudo software update. and then we're going to do the list function, and that's going to find me any available software updates. So that actually takes a while to do that. So while that's running, I'm going to go back up here to System Preferences, and I'm going to go over two very important updates, simple updates. So the first one is Flash. So Flash is really important for the Adobe suite of products. Sorry, and you want to make sure that I always say just have it installed automatically. Opt for the auto install, not the manual. As you can see, it's installed automatically here. And then more importantly, Java. So the Java update, Java is going to open up in a separate window in a minute. And I really want to go over the update's pretty simple, but there's two things with Java that you want to watch out for. Java's known for incorporating the checked checkboxes with the update. So what that means is that you'll go through, you'll be prompted to do the update, but then it'll have a checkbox. Click Yahoo as your home page, or this plugin as your search bar. And those can be really annoying. So you want to make sure to uncheck those when you do your update. Another thing under the security settings, so this is what update looks like. As you can see, I'm up to date. But under the security setting, I want to go over how to add site exceptions. So you would go down here, edit site list, and put the website that needs the security exception, and then click add or remove to remove, of course. Okay, so moving right along. Another thing that I like is, let's say that, hey, it's the morning, it's early, I have my Starbucks here, and let's say that I accidentally spill some Starbucks on my Mac, which I've seen that happen. If you have terminal open, you can do sudo shutdown, and it will shut down your Mac immediately. Now, and obviously I'm not going to do that because it would just shut everything down. I won't be prompted for my password again because I already put it in. It only asks you once, so that's something you can do, and it's a lot faster than holding down the power key or going up here to shut down if you have terminal open. Another thing, you can check your network connectivity by using the ping command. So you can ping, and I'll do snap.com, and that's going to give me a list of packets, and we'll see if we've got good connectivity. Yay, we do. Okay, great. So we're all connected. So the last thing that I'll go over is the history, and that's going to show all these cool commands and then everything else that I've ever done in my whole life. So now I want to go over disk utility and how to format a drive, an external drive. So let's go to Finder, and instead of using Spotlight, and it's under utilities, the utilities folder. So you can go to applications, and then you can go to utilities, and disk utility, and here you can do a lot. So here's my external drive, flash drive. I'm gonna put it in, and it's going to detect it. And as you can see, let me close this out, you can do a few things. So I'm going to opt to erase the entire drive, and you can format it to, I recommend journaled. I also like exFAT because it makes, like if you want to swap out your flash drive with someone who's using Windows 10, really makes it easy for them. So let's do journaled, and you're gonna, there's different security options. The difference between most secure and fastest is that fastest obviously is just going to have like one pass. Most secure, you're going to have 7 passes. So I'd say do most secure, okay, and then from there, yes, I do, and skipping, and then that's how you would, that's how you do that. Okay, so that concludes that.